Hello again. Well, hello. My name's Vegan. Nice time. So, can start with a prayer first. Pray to the east. I usually do this in my own head, but I'll do it out loud. Oh, give me a second, would you, please? Okay, so my name is Thea Cannon. I'm here for the ninth time. I'm going to start off with a prayer. To the east. To the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and the Heavenly Mother, Israel. And Yeshua, please, the Elohim, help me, guide me in what I'm about to say. Please, help me to God. Oh, you all. Let the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and the Heavenly Mother, Israel's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. In Yeshua's name. Amen. Oh. Okay, so I'm back again. So, taking us on a journey. We're going to go back in history. We've got to start back at the beginning to understand where I'm going to go with this. I'm asking you all to be patient with me. Give me a chance to explain myself, to explain the Elohim, and why they feel the way they do. So, I'm going to Sodom. And that other place that starts with G that I can't pronounce. Sorry. Anyway, it appears that a lot of people use these places to fight arguments. So, I did my research and I found out the real reason why the Elohim destroyed Sodom. And it's not at all. You have been made to believe. You've done your research, you know this. It takes a lot of research. It's not easy to find this information out. So we're going back to Sodom, to the time of Sodom, and why it got wiped out. Come on a journey with me. I'll teach you what the Elohim taught me when it comes to Sodom and that G1. Sorry, can't pronounce it. Gemo something something, I think. Anyway. Serious though. Okay, we're going to Sodom. So the research that I found out that at Sodom at the time when it was destroyed. After I do know the story, I'm sorry, I'm not really great with names, but I can remember. Lot. See? Lot was there with his wife and children. She looked back and got turned into a salted pillar because she didn't trust in the Elohim. Anyway, going back to Lot. His brother was the one that came with Shua and got to watch over with the angels. They said if you could save 10, was it in the end? 10 good people, then Sodom would be saved. See, everybody likes to use the gay card for Sodom. But you should know, wasn't like that. The reason why Sodom was wiped out was because the general practice back then was pedophilia. Yep. People shared their children with each other. It was common practice. It was a common thing. It was, that's why Lot offered his daughters so that they wouldn't try and take the angels. Because back then, people liked having sex with angels. They would try and get friendly with them, force themselves on them. So, Lot's daughters, being virgins as they were, very uncommon in Sodom because most children were shared at the age of 3, 4. And did you know that also Sodom, they weren't just sharing their children with each other, no. They were into child sacrificing. First one born. All your firstborns would go to Baal, B-double-A-L, Baal. Just one of the many fucking names that Satan, Hashatan has gone by. What would you like? Or maybe it was a bad angel representing themselves as they did. I think Aphrodite was one of them. What was she? The god of sex. What was happening back then? I can remember Peter talking about it in the Colosseum. Because they used to go up there. They would take young girls, very young, I think 7, 8, when they had their, I don't even think they waited for their period. 1,000 young girls chained in Aphrodite's temple. The men believed it was okay for them to go and have sex with those young girls because they were honouring Aphrodite, the goddess of fucking love. Rape the kids, rape the little girls, is that right? I do remember Peter talking about that. Maybe that was a bad angel. Anyway, Sodom. Sorry, got lost. Sodom. Learnt a lot about all those who wished to be harmed. Sodom. So they were sharing their children. They were also sacrificing their firstborns. It's quite a horrific, fucking horrendous thing they were doing. Because they like to drink the blood in Sodom. I believe there was anti-aging properties in it. Tupatel, apparently there is. Do you want to kill a child, terrorise them? It's absolute crap. So that you can drink their blood to look younger. Is that something you're into? Something they're into. Problem is you stop drinking the blood. Age very quickly, don't you? And you die. Didn't no one tell you that? And they gave you this secret elixir to life. Anyway, they're also into cannibalism. They like to eat humans, children, or most of them. Nice and tender for them. Of course. Sacrifice the blood. Terrorise the poor little baby, just born. Drink their blood. And then eat them. It was a common practice. That's why Sodom got taken out. Now, you should know too. Sodom was not the only place that was practicing child sacrificing. Baal. Check it out, history. Baal, as they called him. A giant fucking bull sitting like this. Do you know? They opened up the back of him and they would put fire in him and have that fire going all day long, all night long. And then the men who had slept with prostitutes or other women behind them, well, usually it was their servants, the ones that they'd enslaved and taken with them. And they didn't want the children. So they got told, you can offer it to Baal, you'll be thankful for that. They did. Do you know that the screams of the child were so loud as they placed that infant into that steaming hot fucking bull's hands that the child would scream at the top of its lungs from the pain? So they decided to put drums in place to make sure that you could not hear the screams of the child as it was being sizzled alive. Maybe that's why there is a pit. Starting to realise that. Pits. So that was their worshipping. Firstborns. Always. The Baal. Covering their tracks just in case. Because they didn't trust the Elohim. Some of you don't hear. You don't believe. It's up to you, isn't it? So why did I just talk about Sodom? Because I'm about to go on to a taboo subject. Yep, taboo. Anyone wants to discuss it or talk about it, but I'm gonna have to, aren't I? And at the end of the day, I said that I would protect the children and the innocent. So, what I say next is for the innocent who cannot have a voice. Told you I was pregnant. Felt it. The night that they entered my egg. See, reasoning it out, I can't understand this. Technically, your egg's alive. The sperm's alive. So when they come together, they somehow create a life, but they die. And they're not actually alive until what? 3 months, is it? Then they got a heartbeat? Fucking wondering about that. Because I felt my children the night they were conceived, and I thought sperm was alive, and I thought our eggs were alive. So I'm wondering how the fuck they all die and then don't get a soul or whatever you want to say until 3 months. Very interesting. Very, very fucking interesting question. But that's not the only interesting question. See, I did my research into abortions. I've seen the arguments, I've had a few disagreements with people about it. Most of the arguments are, well, women need that right. After all, young children are raped, so we need it there for young children. Women are raped, we need it there for the women that are raped. And I always think to myself, why are we making fucking allowances for pedophiles and rapists? Why don't we just stop the cunts? Sorry, put them in jail. Dramatically, peacefully. Why do we allow this to happen to a select few people who should never have been hurt in the first place? I can't figure it out. So, next bit of information that I found out. If you do your research, you will find this out. Told you that in Sodom they were cannibals, didn't I? Did you know? I'm about to mention a name here. Taboo. There was a law written into place in the US a few years back when somebody else was president. Just the last president. Previous president, gone. Now, did you know that their signatures on a piece of paper, writing into law the sale of your unborn fetuses? Correct. Yep, your former president signed it into law. But, get this, because you can research it and find this all out, it's right. Turns out, unborn fetuses, children, are being sold for the kilo. That's why they want to increase the age, because they get more money for the weight of it. Do you know that they sell the livers to face cream companies? The livers of your unborn fetuses are good for the skin to make you look young. Know that when you're putting that expensive face creams on your face. Check out the ingredients, because they rename them. That was not the only thing I found out. The brain's good for something too, apparently. They sell the brains to another company who then make that into something that you put on yourself or feed yourself. And that is not the piece de resistance. Do you know there's a food flavour enhancer? I believe it's the kidneys of the unborn fetus. Yep, it's written into law. Your former president of the USA wrote this into law without you all knowing that you are eating your unborn children. They are food additives in your food. They have made you cannibals. Check it out. Don't believe me? Fair enough. Check it out. You're eating your unborn kids. Yep, you're eating them. They're a food flavour enhancer. Do your research. It's on your food. Imagine that. All that food, quick food that you love in your supermarkets. Did you know only a few people own the majority of the brands out there? I'd be researching your food, because those brands that we so love for convenience and the fast food that we love may not be what you think you're consuming. You may be eating human flesh for all you know. Apparently they like to do that. They feed the unwanted human flesh to the pigs. That's why we shouldn't eat bacon. Because pigs will eat fucking meat. Did you know that? They eat the whole skull too. Maybe you should be looking at your bacon and how your bacon is raised, you pigs. Because we can eat bacon if they're vegetarian. Can't eat it if they're fucking meat eaters, can we? Check out your food products. Did you know you're eating your babies? Yep. Put them on your face. The older the child, the more money you get for the weight, the body parts. And that's another thing. Body parts. Has anyone ever bothered, who do fight for the abortion rights and everything, have you bothered to look at how it's done? Turns out it's done just like they did it in Sodom, but inside the womb. The child is ripped to pieces, feels a lot, no anaesthesia. Ripped to pieces in the wound, because they can't pull it all out at once. Oh, they have learned to do that. Oh, did you know about COVID vaccine? I just found that out. Do you know how they test the COVID vaccine to find out if it works? Did you? Why don't you do your research? I found out that they like to abort 5 to 6 month old fetuses because any other age won't work. And they have to make sure that it's alive when it's born. It has to be alive and transported to the scientific lab alive, people. And then, do you know what they do for your COVID vaccine? How they're getting it, how they're testing it in the CDC and so forth? They stick a needle into its heart with no anaesthesia, nothing, to test. They don't last long. They die in a lot of fucking pain. That's your vaccine, COVID. That's how you're getting it. Every time they test it, they are sticking a needle into a 5 to 6 month old fetus that has been kept alive for that fucking purpose. That's your vaccine. You're trusting in an Elohim, are you? Or are you trusting in a system that wants to stick a needle into the heart of a 5 to 6 month old fetus that's just been born? Mother's probably been told it's got health problems. Probably didn't. Figure that. Apparently a lot of parents have been told that their children have health problems. They should have bought them. Second, third, fourth opinion helps. So, abortions. Let's have a good hard discussion about abortions, shall we? Let's have a look at how it's done. Please, can you watch it? Sit through it. Watch it. Watch how it's done. Watch what happens to the child. Please watch it. All of it inside the womb, because they've got it now. Then you can fight for it, if that's what you want. And also, can you do your research and find out it's in your food, face creams, everything that you're consuming. The bad angels and their little helpers have been doing that to you for years. Because we relied on all that. We're eating. Humans. We're cannibals. They turned us into cannibals, people. I found this out a few years back. Would anyone believe me if I told them then? Would you believe me now? That it's a food additive in your food? And that Obama signed it into fucking law? Yeah, I said the name. You're going to get me? With your computer systems? Because I know you did, Obama. I'm not judging you. I'm judging your action. Look up the research, people. Please. And as for face creams, my love Yeshua got me onto raw, organic, cold-pressed coconut oil. Wow. I've been putting it on my face for 2 weeks. It's just bringing my skin up fresh and new again. Amazing that, hey? And my hair. and I've got dry hands. Coconut oil is just amazing. And did you know, I had cancer scare a few years back, colonoscopy and all the rest of it. I found out through research that if I took a teaspoon of coconut oil every single day, flushed out the toxins and everything out of my body. 6 months later, I went back for another colonoscopy. They called me the miracle girl because I couldn't find nothing. Also, I had a lump in my belly too, in my stomach. Gone. Completely gone. Couldn't understand it. It was the coconut oil. But you should also know that I went through like an awakening at that time. Because when I had the cancer scare, I realised that I'd done everything in my life. I had no regrets but one. Never followed my passion in life for work. And when it came down to it, no one had to stand in front of the Elohim and say that I was all me. I never held back. Did all that I could. I knew at the end of the day that there was still part of me I hadn't done. My passion in work. So I went back to just counselling, because I'd always talk with friends and that throughout my life. Thought I was going back to school to do counselling. Turns out, part of that course was you had to do counselling yourself. I went through 3 years of intense counselling. Ooh, it was painful. Man, it was worth it, because I found out my hidden behaviours. I found out everything about me. Gave me strong boundaries. Counselling, let's go. Loved it. Love it. Thank you to the Elohim. Thank you to the people who helped me to find me. Love yourself. Any choices are yours. But I would ask that you please, could you please do your research before you go saying anything. Please. I love you all. And I know that the Elohim love you. And I know you're in this life. It's okay. We can move forward from this. We can learn to never do it again. Please, can you do your research? And look at your foods that you consume. Because you might find out that you're a cannibal. We all are. At the end of the day. Find out the information. Don't be scared. Love yourself. And I know where we go wrong with it all. I'm going to throw a prayer out. For the evil angels and the evil people who choose to follow them. See, I've always held hope that this will turn back. Seek redemption, forgiveness, salvation. I've lost it. Anyone can be forgiven if you turn around and come back. If you got to really seek it. Feeling a moment from the Elohim, Father Yahweh, and Mother Israel, and from their only begotten Son, Yeshua. So my prayer is to you, my enemies. Like Yeshua said, pray for you and hope you come back. Oh, please come back. Know what you're doing to the pit. Oh, so it gave you almost led into thinking it was women's rights and all the rest of it. I got led down that path too. Till I did my research and I found out the truth. Couldn't justify it anymore. No excuses. You are the one with all. Please just the Elohim. There's only one way. Through Yeshua. He gave yourself the information you need. And if you listen to him, find out all about the Heavenly Father Yahweh and the Heavenly Mother Israel. Finish with prayer. Heavenly Father Yahweh, Heavenly Mother Israel, that your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. In Yeshua's name. Amen. 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 There's a few different versions here.